Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Cinema. I am Money Mike, and we are on the road to WrestleMania 41. And today we are going to take a little detour to talk about WWE 2K25 Showcase Mode, which will be featuring the Bloodline family. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about kind of where Showcase is and kind of the future of Showcase mode based on how 2K is presenting Showcase this year. Because I do think finally, Showcase mode in the 2K games over these last couple years have kind of lost its touch. I think it's just been kind of, you play through it, you unlock everything, and then you move on. You don't play it no more. There's no replay value. And honestly, I was quite disappointed in the 40 years of WrestleMania showcase because we didn't get every WrestleMania arena. And they only gave us like 20 some matches, which is crazy because when you look at who they have licensed and who they can use, they could have gave us like 30 or 40 matches anyway. But obviously, Showcase mode has been a singular focus, whether it's 40 years of WrestleMania. We had the John Cena showcase, Rey Mysterio showcase a couple years ago. And I think finally 2K has hit on something with this Bloodline showcase. And I just want to show some screenshots here. As you can see, we do have Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria from King and Queen of the Ring last year as one of the confirmed showcase matches. I think people were like, oh, Bloodline showcase? Oh man, we're just going to replay the last 5 years. No. 2K actually went and did something different with it where they got other family members involved, and it's not just Roman Reigns. It's not just the Usos. They got the Wild Samoans, which you will see here. There's a dream match aspect to the showcase, which I will cover in a little bit, where they play as the Dudleys, or play against the Dudleys, where you are the Wild Samoans playing against the Dudleys in this dream tag team match. And I like it. I like how it covers the history. We've seen screenshots of Yokozuna from King of the Ring 1993. And I'll get to WrestleMania 9 in just a second. But there's these big positives for me is that Showcase is finally, I think, getting that fresh breath of air that it has desperately needed, because just going through and just unlocking everything and then you don't touch the mode again. So it's one of those things where they're doing something to make you want to play it again. And in order to do that, they have added this year alternate endings and what if scenarios. And obviously in sports, that's like the biggest thing I think we all talk about, right? What if Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Saints? The Saints were going to take Patrick Mahomes before the Chiefs traded up for him. And could you imagine a scenario right now where Sean Payton is still in New Orleans and it's the Saints that are on a dynasty run with Patrick Mahomes and Sean Payton in the NFC instead of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs? That is a wild scenario to think about. But in terms of wrestling, we have dream matches that we never got to see. Like, say, obviously this covers the Bloodline showcase, covering those. So obviously I would imagine The Rock versus Roman Reigns is a dream match, a part of this showcase. Maybe if we get an Undertaker showcase, and if for whatever reason down the line, Sting, he signed a Legends deal with the WWE, because remember, Jake the Snake Roberts, has a Legends deal with the WWE that does allow him to be in the 2K games while still working in AEW. So if Sting had that kind of a deal going in the future with the WWE, then we did an Undertaker showcase, and a dream match scenario would be Undertaker versus Sting. This to me gives showcase mode what it needed. It was getting stale. It was getting boring. It was, people were saying, well, what about Road to WrestleMania? And I've seen people, and even I've been one of the biggest advocates for exploring the what ifs, because pro wrestling, as much as we talk about it within other sports, pro wrestling, I think, has the biggest and the most what if scenarios out there that 2K can really explore. And even if you did like a Road to WrestleMania, so maybe you just play as a set superstar for like a whole year, and you go through this alternate path or alternate timeline. So, like, for example, if you wanted to do, let's say Ric Flair comes back into the games, right? What if you do an alternate universe where Ric Flair doesn't retire, you beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, and then you go on for a quest for the 17th world title, right? And then maybe a dream match would be like Ric Flair versus John Cena at the end of the showcase. I don't know. What if Shawn Michaels broke the streak, and then you play an alternate reality path of Shawn after he broke the streak and whatever, right? So I like that that 2K is exploring those possibilities of the what ifs, and we've seen the footage of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, that is also confirmed from the Royal Rumble, confirmed to be in the showcase, and they do have these alternate cutscenes where at the end, it does show, like, if Seth Rollins wins, they have the commentary and the ring announcer saying Seth Rollins is a champion. I think even Michael Cole, even mentioned in the cutscene, like, Roman Reigns' title reign ends at 516 days or something. Like, it adds it's those little details to me that make it so good. And on top of that, there's no slingshot technology where we're playing the game and we go into the real life footage. They got rid of all that. And at first glance, you think, okay, it was kind of cool at first, but then you kind of realize, like, oh, they don't have the rights to this person, this person, this person. They gotta blur out so many people, and that's what a lot of people were joking about last year. WrestleMania 40 is going to have all these blurs because they can't show the certain sponsors on the ring mat no more, or whatever. But again, the what if aspect to me is the most intriguing to me, because I think this opens up the possibility, and the way they did showcase this year, where it's covers like multiple superstars across different eras. This to me opens up a whole lot more possibilities going forward for showcase mode. I think this could be a way for showcase mode to really make a revival and really make a comeback. And Triple H, he's going into the Hall of Fame this year, and what if next year 2K decided to do a Triple H showcase, which Okay, sounds good. I mean, there's a lot of matches, superstars. But instead, what if instead of a Triple H showcase, oh, I don't know, what if we got a Click showcase? A showcase where it features Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman. And you play through different matches of all of their careers in this one showcase. Or you could do an Evolution showcase if Ric Flair's back and you have maybe you play through a portion of Ric Flair's career, then you do Triple H, then you do Batista, Orton. You have these different possibilities now, and especially when you go back and when you look back, 2K23 was the John Cena showcase, and we got the younger Orton, younger Batista, younger Lesnar because it was the class of OVW kind of tribute. Like, could you imagine, like, instead of just a John Cena showcase, it was just a class of OVW 2002 showcase that had Cena, Lesnar, Orton, and Batista matches, like, from all those superstars in one showcase. Let's talk about WrestleMania. I did mention it, 40 years of WrestleMania. Obviously, probably since they just did that, it's probably going to be a while. Probably not until the 50 years of WrestleMania showcase. But now that 2K is exploring these what ifs in these dream matches, right? This opens up a WrestleMania showcase to a whole different level. You're talking what ifs, right? Obviously, let's say WrestleMania 1. Obviously, let's say 2K can't get the rights to Mr. T or Mr. Orndorff or, Paul Orndorff, I'm sorry. I started to say Mr. Wonderful, but, they can't get the rights to them, but they do have the rights to Hogan and Piper. And what if, the dream match scenario could be, what if Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper faced off for the WWE Championship at the first WrestleMania? So that way you get around the whole tag team match. Or maybe they do get the rights for them, but you still have that dream match scenario and you just unlock Mr. Wonderful and you'll have Mr. T as unlockables when you do the match. And I like the alternative history part because, what if you played as Hogan, you play through, Hogan wins, yada, 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 he's the babyface. But then you play as Roddy Piper and you kind of have this alternate history of, like, Roddy Piper actually be winning his first WWE Championship. And then you look at the 1994 Royal Rumble, and this is really where I think 2K could really explore the what-ifs in terms of WrestleMania, because when you look at WrestleMania 10, obviously we had that whole thing with the co-winners, Bret Hart, Lex Luger. They each had matches, and then Bret Hart went on to face Yokozuna. He won the title that night. But now that we're talking about dream matches, we're talking about alternate scenarios. Like, okay, what if you play Bret Hart, but Bret Hart loses, and then Lex Luger is the one to go face Yokozuna? Or what if, like, the alternate reality is that it's Bret Hart, Lex Luger, Yokozuna, and a triple threat match? So there's a lot of good possibilities that I think 2K now has in front of them where they can really change the game when it comes to showcase mode. The alternate reality of pro wrestling is so wide. There's so many things you can do, and obviously, yes, it depends on who they have the rights to, who's signed to the WWE, and all that stuff. There is that part. And I am looking forward to the fact that 2K26 could even be a bigger and better roster when you look at who is potential free agents or who are free agents and potential free agents by the end of the year. which is crazy to think. We might be able to get Chris Jericho as a pre-order bonus for 2K26. What Showcase needs to be in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to how they expand on it going forward. And I'm looking forward to the Bloodline Showcase. And hopefully you are too. I'm looking forward to the game. And again, comment below. What do you guys think? Do you think this is what Showcase Mode needs? Do you think this is going to help Showcase Mode going forward? Or do you prefer a Road to WrestleMania type of mode instead? Comment below. I've been your host, Money Mike, and you've been watching Ringside Cinema.
Ringside Cinema, legends at the core. Tune in, feel the rush. Wrestling meets the screen. Ringside Cinema, living out the dream. Living out the dream. Living out the dream. Lights down, time to go. Cheers for heroes we know. Ringside forever. Oh. Wrestling.